Good morning, students. So now today we are discussing about the process of writing. We know the process of writing. Before writing, there are the language skill. We are aware of the language skill called listening, speaking, reading and writing. In short, we say LSRW. And what is listening? We learned earlier. Listening is an activity of the mind. We are listening to something that we need. We focus, we attentively listen something that is called listening. But the just opposite of listening is hearing. And hearing, how will you define hearing? It's a passive activity. Our mind is not at all involved. If the mind is involved, that process is called listening. And if the mind is not involved, that is called hearing. So that is, in short, we say listening. Then LSR, speaking. Yes. What is speaking? Speaking is needed for language proficiency, or if we know language, we can communicate with the other person. For that, we must be able to know the stress, language, rhythm, intonation, and in short, we have to learn phonetics, RP, received pronunciation. It is accepted language in British. Then we are having reading. What is reading? Reading. How can we acquire that particular skill? By reading books. We are having libraries, and the teacher might be assigned you some task or a particular book that should read and summarize them and bring to school, or you have to reproduce in the classroom. How will you define reading? It's a psycho-linguistic guessing game. It involved by the mind and language. When we read a book, our mind and the language both are mingled. So that process is called reading. So when we come to the process of writing, writing is the last skill in language. So writing is dependent upon reading and writing. If we read more, we will be able to produce or write something. So writing completely depends upon reading. So what are the process involved in writing? The various stages in writing process. Pre-writing or planning. Next we are having writing, then revision, editing, proofreading. The first stage, pre-writing or planning. What is this pre-writing stage? We are planning to write something. We don't know what we have to write. We are not aware of anything. If it is an essay, or if you want to produce a speech in your college, whatever it is, we have to produce something. So that is what we are planning, what to write. And the second one, writing. After we plan, we just write what we are aware of. Then after writing, we revise what we have written. Then lastly, editing. Editing is a stage we look for grammar errors, sentence structures, whether there is cohesion, arrangement, everything we look in the editing process. And in proofreading, we again read and understand if there is any mistake, is there something should be avoided. That is the last stage of writing process. Then next, we are having planning. What is planning? As I told you, it includes deciding the topic that we are chosen. Then defining the purpose, why we have taken that particular essay or that topic. Then brainstorming, researching, collecting information, outlining the text to be written. That is the planning. And it is deciding the topic. How will you decide a topic? Topic is a feasible matter. It's something very important. How will you select a topic? We have to select the topic of current issues or the information easily available. Then we can write more. Then while deciding the topic subject, we have to write that is familiar or information easily available. Then defining the purpose of writing. Firstly, we decide the topic. Then secondly, we are defining what is the purpose of our writing. Why? If we are writing for violence against women, we are writing, for example, I am saying, we are writing violence against women. That is our topic. We decided the topic. Now we are defining the purpose. So we have to ask some questions related to violence against women. Why? What are the relevant issues related to women? How can we solve the problem? How can I establish? How will the audience or the readers will be able to understand my writing? So we have to write all these things in each and every paragraph. So we will be able to write more. In that way, we are defining the purpose. Then after defining the purpose, we are collecting information. So somewhat your essay or your topic is clear. We are writing about violence against women. We decided the topic, we defined the purpose. Now we have to collect information. How will you collect information? The writers resort to various techniques for collecting. The first method they adopted is brainstorming, and second one clubbing and clustering, or lastly mind mapping method. We all know brainstorming. It's a technique. What's the technique? Brainstorming. It's a technique to get ideas in a group discussion. The students will be in pair 4 or 5. They will sit in a group and they are given a particular topic, and you have to collect ideas. The ideas are collected random, means there is no first to last, no chronological order. You can collect information as much possible, and no ideas are related here. You can just collecting information. That section is called brainstorming, and this brainstorming session is invented, or it is brought forward by Osborne in his mapping method. And second session is clubbing and clustering. In this clubbing and clustering is also a collection of ideas. We are collecting information, but when we collect here in the second method, we should organize our ideas. Organizing ideas means if we are writing about environment pollution, in brainstorming session we will say air pollution is there, water pollution is there, soil pollution is there, everything we say, but it will be not in a order. But when we come to clubbing, we have to organize what are the relation between air pollution and water pollution. What are the examples for air pollution? All the section relating water pollution should be in one paragraph, or after saying about water pollution you should go to air pollution. That is clubbing and clustering. Then mind mapping is a graphic method, means diagrams and everything is provided in this method. We can easily understand everything. It is just a graphic or diagram representation of ideas, mind mapping method. This is collection of information. Next we are having computers. Before computers, we can just say about writing. So what are the stages we come across now? We started writing. So now we are aware of the topic we are chosen. Then we are defining the purpose of what we should write. Then deciding the top everything writing. Then when we write more, we should check for plagiarism. In writing stage, it's very important that plagiarism. What is plagiarism? Or borrowing the lines from other authors and making it as our own. If you are quoting a poem, we can quote any poem. The poem is made by Shakespeare, but we don't put his name there. Instead, we quote the poem and so on. So that is offense now. Plagiarism is a great offense. It's a crime. We should not do plagiarism. So after organizing all these ideas, we should check for plagiarism. Then we have to organize our ideas, then clear outline. Then firstly we have to revise the text, the entire text that we have written. What are the methods we had adopted? Revision. Then lastly is editing for grammar errors, punctuation and everything should be very much careful. So after writing all these things, we can use computer in our writing process. How computers help in writing process, how it can help. So it's a convenient to use computers in writing process. It's easy. Rather than taking our paper and writing everything, it's very easy to use computers. How? When we use computers, there are some ethics to be followed while using this computer. That is, the mainly accepted font we use is Times New Roman. It is easily available, or it's a very accepted font we use, Times New Roman. Then we use the page settings. The page settings, A4 size page we are writing in MS Word. Then we have to set the language. English, UK is the common language we follow. We don't write in American language or anything. We just follow English, UK. So these are the writing steps involved in process of writing. So let's summarize once more. We said what is writing. Writing can be improved by writing more, or more reading. We can get more into writing skill. Then we decided the topic. Then after deciding the topic, we define the purpose, what should we write. Then we brainstormed. what are programs are there, what are we are going to write, we brainstorm, then mind mapping method. These are the methods we adopt by writing. After writing everything, we go for outlining the text. What are the things we need and what are to be avoided, we look for everything. Then lastly, we give a revision and we produce a text. And we can use synonyms. Majority of text are producing synonyms. What are synonyms? The names related to same thing. Instead of giving simple words, we can give complicated words. Or if you want your readers to understand simple language, or they want your text to be read out, then what we will do? We will use simple language. Simple language is better, so that everyone can read and understand, or read and comprehend what you have written. So these are the stage, and lastly we say about computers, and we close that process of writing.